the world was getting a little chaotic, and I was like, I'm going to try to satirize this and see.
Yeah.
And so I actually wrote the screenplay version first of Let's Murder the
Okay.
Hitler. And I was just taking, I was in the beginning of 2025, I was getting a little angry at seeing I don't want to turn this into a political thing, but I was unhappy with
Absolutely.
some of the things were going. And so
Yeah.
I was saying, if things keep going like this unchecked, this is what it's going to look like. And it's going to be
Right.
dystopic, far right version of
Yeah.
America. So I just put like a group of friends that we all like to watch and can relate to in that world. And then how would you just stop like a far right version would be to go back in time and kill baby Hitler. So that was what the screenplay was about. And it came from a place of like anti extremism. If we were dealing with a far left dictator, they would go back and kill baby Mao Zedong.
Good day and welcome back, Eric Leja, filmmaker, most recently of the novella and future film. Let me make sure I get this right. Let's Murder the Fuck Out of Baby Hitler. Eric,
Hell
how are
yeah.
you doing?
Doing great, Ben. Thanks for having me back on.
Yeah, so this is such a cool title. So this is you, only you added a little mustache. You weren't cruising around as a baby, also as baby Hitler.
No, that was me. I have two children, so I thought about using one of their photos, and I was like, that I don't think it's ethical to make them to Hitlerize my children. Really couldn't.
We don't know where AI is going to be. Like they could, in 30 years, be like, you were Hitler. Like it's
Right, yeah.
best to just.
You set them up for failure. So I bit the bullet. I took my own baby photo. I had a friend Hitlerize it and use that for the cover.
So it's such a cool, and like the name of it is so like it catches your mind. You're like, wow, okay. Did you write the story first and then be like, what's the best name for this? Oh, fuck it, I'm going with this. Or did you have the name of the novella and then the story came after?
That's a good question. I think it came organically in the story. Like I didn't have the
Okay.
title
Yeah.
yet. I knew I knew it was going to be about the paradoxical question of could you kill baby Hitler to save the world and whatnot. And then in the process of writing it, one of the characters, spoiler alert, says this line, and I was like, "That's the title. Hell yeah,
Yeah.
let's go." And yeah, it has been good. It's been good. It has been like attention grabbing, and I have run into problems trying to advertise the book because I don't know. Instagram says it's vulgar. Reddit. Remember Reddit used to be like the cowboys out there. There was no rules, and now it's too raunchy for them. But I don't know. I feel like it would be inauthentic to soften.
Right.
Like, we're keeping it.
Does 4chan allow advertising? And not that you want to go there, but like,
Yeah, I don't know. I
maybe
haven't gone to that dark.
like it's dark, but not as dark as, or what True Social might put it on there that maybe they allow.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe.
So I last talked to you right after the strike ended.
Mhm.
So what have you been working on since then? And what led you to being like, you know what? The best way forward for the story that I have is the novella. It's available on Amazon and it gets to you quick. It's a great little book to read. It's fun. You can read it in one sitting of sitting down, depending on how fast people are reading nowadays. So it's fantastic. It's available now. But what led you from last time we talked to writing the novella?
Basically, I talked right after the strike, right? And so the industry was still I don't know, like coming back together, and it's still different. I think it's better than it. I think the strike did good things, but it
Okay.
didn't just snap back into some paradise that we thought it might have become. It was still difficult, still problems that we're navigating. So after the strike, I did a bunch of stuff. I think the last time we chatted, I told you about me and a team of writers had just acquired an IP and we're
That's
adapting.
right.
Yeah, so that was probably like one of the most successful projects we had because that got into my script lab that came with a stipend.
Okay.
It was generating money and
Great.
bulk, and then we got into after that script lab, we got that same IP into a fellowship, which came with more of a stipend. So that was generating some buzz and stuff.
Income. Yeah.
It's called Skippy's List, trying to push that out there.
Okay.
But then, so in the meantime of
Brilliant.
that, collabing with these other writers, trying to staff on a show or sell a show and whatnot. This thing came because I enjoy writing satire a lot. And I've had good success with satire. I've written for VetTV.com. They had their version of The Daily Show, which was like, it was called Non-Commissioned News. It was like a military daily show. And so we did a lot of satire on there. We were like roasting politicians and roasting commanders and stuff. It was very fun. And during the pandemic, I wrote a very satirical pilot that actually got me some pretty big meetings and did well for me. So I don't know. I was watching this was in like early 2025, so early last year. The world was getting a little chaotic, and I was like, "I'm gonna try to satirize this and see."
Yeah.
And so I actually wrote the screenplay version first of Let's Murder the Fuck
Okay.
Hitler, and that's I was at the beginning of 2025, I was getting a little angry at seeing some I don't wanna turn this into a political thing, but I was unhappy with
Absolutely.
some of the things were going. And so
Yeah.
I was saying, if things keep going like this unchecked, this is what it's gonna look like, and it's gonna be
Right.
dystopic, far right version of
Yeah.
America. So I just put like a group of friends that we all like to watch and can relate to in that world. And then how would you stop like a far right version would be to go back in time and kill baby Hitler. So that was what the screenplay was about. And it
Okay.
came from a place of like anti extremism. If we were dealing with a far left dictator, they would go back and kill baby Mao Zedong, but we're not
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
it. So yeah, and then I sent it to my reps and they loved it. And it just so happened like I finished the draft just as that Jimmy Kimmel fiasco was
Right.
remember? And so he said something that the regime didn't like, and then he got canceled, and then he got canceled because people were canceling their Disney Plus. And basically, like the vibe here in Hollywood was like, unless you have the pull to get a bunch of wine
Right.
moms to cancel Disney Plus, no one's gonna touch your political satire. You know what I mean? So our reps were like, this is great, this is awesome, but no one's gonna touch it. Everyone's horrified to do anything right now because
Right.
you're gonna get like a tweet at you, and then you're gonna get your FCC things to pull the plug on you, and all this crazy stuff. But they liked it a lot. And so we came up with some strategies to try to trickle it out there and see if we could get some eyeballs on it. And they were like, why don't you turn it in like a different format and see if you get some traction
Yeah.
that way? And so I was like, oh, okay. And so I was like, I'll do it as a novella because I'm much more of a screenwriter than like a prose writer, but I've dabbled in it
Right.
and I like it. It's fun. So I was like, I'll turn this into a novella. And I literally just converted the screenplay. There was some things that were more difficult to do because now I have to like describe the room instead of just
Yeah.
saying they're in a room and letting the
Right.
production designer design it. But then there was also some easier ways because I could be like, "Oh, this is what this character's thinking right now."
Yeah.
So I found that to be like challenging and fun and cool. And so I knocked that out, and then I just released it. I have to self-publish it. I have a screenwriting agent. So I don't have book agents, so I have to. I submitted it actually to a bunch of places, and I got no traction. I think people were just like, I think it was too
Yeah.
satirical, and it was like people were like, "I'm not touching this," or also I don't know. Nobody would touch. So I was like, "I'm gonna do it my damn self. I'm gonna put it on
Right.
Amazon, self-publish it on Amazon," and so that's what I did. And I put it so I'm not trying to like make. I think I make 20 cents per copy, so it's not
What?
make money as cheap as I could. You have to
I
make
thought
it.
I was giving you more than that. I gave
No,
you a quarter.
yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Because the point is I want it to go like
I know.
viral, popular, and become like, yeah, like that's the whole point is to build an audience in this other, like you have this IP build its own audience, and either I could then use that as a selling point, be like, okay, if somebody this producer's too afraid to touch it, but look at this giant audience comes with it. So, or whatever the case may be. Or if the tide turns, then I already own this IP in this version. So then like I
Yeah.
don't worry about the screen version being pulled away from me and whatnot. So yeah, it's just like another strategy in this weird media escape to try to get it out there. Yeah.
What's really fucked up out of this is that I imagine the percentage of people that agree with you on this is like probably pretty high, I would say. And
Yeah.
it's almost the chilling of speech in your case that you can't get it published, even though the majority of people probably think it's satirical and funny and all that. Like, just because the power of speaking against this is so great that they're not willing to put their career. I guess I understand that, feeding your family, whatever, but it's just sad that, like, the idea that you can't publish a satirical thing because people are afraid of what people might say about it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a weirder landscape now, and it's never been like because I know there's even stuff that's that's like politically safe or neutral, but it's still a risk, and because all these
Right.
companies are eating each other, and they need the executive branch to approve their giant merger. No producer wants to be the last one holding the experimental show that didn't work. You know what I mean? When
Yeah,
the
exactly.
company buys it, so it's so weird. I've never seen Hollywood has always been like these giant corporations are fighting for attention for, but I've never seen in my lifetime out here, like these corporations also having to fight for attention from the government and a constant approval as well. It's weird. Even in like the Trump 1.0, I wrote that very satirical thing about the pandemic, and it got me a meeting, and
Right.
people did. And even during the Biden administration, I was writing for Vet TV, and we were roasting that guy all the time, and nobody
Yeah.
bit. But now you need to appease the regime. It's very weird. It's very much like
The point of the So was there like a place where you were like, you know what, I'm not going to go there because it does involve ice. but it's not. And I won't say that it's not political. It is, but it's not like some things you read where it's just like this screed against Donald Trump, which I would personally love to read, but it's not that. If people are thinking like it's just going to be a guy complaining about like the world, like it's not that. It's really the satirical thing. It's more about the kind of things that you were just talking about, like freedom of speech and all that, rather than just like a specific political complaint. So, did you decide, oh, I'm going to make it that way instead of just making it like sheerly like the current administration sucks type thing?
Yeah, because I feel like there is a lot of that out there in
Right.
films, especially in
Yeah, exactly.
and, like, comedians that have the platform that can do that, like, you just scroll Instagram and you see that, like, they have the ability to do that, like, I don't think anybody's gonna give them a TV show for that right now.
Right.
Like, they can do that, so we see that already, and, like, I also don't wanna I don't know, I don't wanna just complain just to complain, so it's more
Yeah, exactly.
I chose the route to make it more if these things go unchecked, this is what I think the world can look like, and obviously some of it is a little over the top. These characters, there's a part in the book where they have to verify their gender to get in their apartment. Like, hopefully that wouldn't really happen, but that's what if these people that are just obsessed with, "Oh, you gotta be the right gender, you gotta be what
Right.
if they keep going the way they're going, then you're gonna have to
Yeah.
show your gender to get in your apartment. So just have silly stuff like that to show, like, it's less I don't know, and I also feel like I have more freedom to do that because I could be
Yeah.
if it's a little bit silly, it's okay to laugh about it and also critique it, whereas if it was like just like a raw documentary of something of a hate crime happening now, that's not funny or silly or
Right.
enjoyable. It's like literally something shitty.
Yeah, yeah. And the other thing that I really want to talk with you about, Eric, is this idea that when people probably just read your biography, Marine Corps veteran, they probably assume you're on the other side of it. Like I truly believe that when I talk with somebody and they hear I'm a veteran, they automatically think this guy is MAGA. That's what he thinks. And I'm 100% sure people have not been on the podcast because of that reason. Have you found that like when you talk to somebody and they hear like just your background before they know that you're just like a sane person rather than just a red hat guy? Did you find it the other way that they made assumptions that aren't true?
Yeah, I've definitely run into that. I feel so I was trying to figure out like I've trying to figure out like how I think because like veterans, I think culturally we lean to the right.
Right.
I think it's I don't even think it's like a gun thing or I think it's more like culturally
Yeah.
when you're in, you're not like you can't change your command or your station or whatever. Like you have to just take what you're given and figure out how to make so that lets so get out, you have that mentality, whereas, like, liberal means change, and you wanna change the system.
Yeah.
Conservative, like, the system will stay the same, and I'll figure out how to work in it. I feel like we're taught
That's a
to do
great point.
right?
Yeah.
And so, like, our cart kinda gets attached to this, like, right-wing part, which was, like I remember I got out during the Obama years, and I've always been, like where it mattered, like, a left-winger, like, with the civil rights of, like, my gay friends and stuff, but I didn't mind before when people would call me, like, if they're going to the range for the first time, they know they could call me because 'cause I'll, like, bring
Right.
like, I didn't mind being that guy when if economics came up at the party or politics, like, "What do you think?" Because they think I probably pay taxes or whatever. Like, I didn't do that. But now that the right-wing cart has completely fallen off the rails, like, it's so insulting that I get associated with that all the time, and
Exactly.
I've noticed a lot of sighs of relief when I, like, reveal that I'm not like that, you know what I mean? Like, I just like, since the shit has gotten crazier, if like, I'll be more quick to chime in if something's in a headline or if politics comes up and, like,
Right.
work I'll be like, "I'm not cool with that. No, nope, not cool with that." And I've noticed a lot of people being like, either subtly, "Okay," or people have literally said to me, like, "I think it's so cool that you're a veteran, but you're not, like, one of those veterans." And I'm like,
Really?
"That is so" like, I understand that was an attempt at a compliment. Heartbreaking that, like, our entire so much of our, our
Oh, no.
just pigeonholed into this insanity because we just yelled that we didn't like taxes 10 years ago, and now we're stuck with this. But yeah.
Wow.
Maybe it might be a little bit on I think that out of, like, my circle, I think, like, the loudest ones are the minority, and maybe, I don't know, maybe we
Yeah.
do a job of shouting them down, I don't know, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's it's rough.
That's wild, and that I so see that, and I hopefully we are putting a light in the darkness that we're not all like that.
Yeah.
So, do you see I wanna keep saying this, let's murder the fuck out of baby Hitler. Do you see it as a series? Do you see it as a short? Hopefully not. Do you see it as a feature? What are your big plan for this?
So, to be honest, so yeah, like a short, probably not a short. Those aren't like I think the resources that would be needed to do a product,
Exactly.
like it would be
Have, like, soldiers from the future, like, just this is a
spent.
costly it's an
Yeah, it'd be,
expensive film.
yeah. And to be honest, like series or feature, I guess it would be right now. Still trying to get it out there as much as I can. Still trying to
Okay.
do that. So I will literally make it whoever wants to pay me to make it be right. So if somebody's hey, I'm gonna turn this to a feature. Here's a wheelbarrow full of money to do that. Then boom, it's gonna be a feature. Like I
Let's
can just
murder the fuck out of Baby Hitler.
exactly. I'll give it a true ending. We'll make it like a little bit longer, and I can wrap it up in a 2 hour thing and say what I want to say, and then boom, it'll be a great movie. But if somebody's like, "Hey, this could be," and I think it could also be a series. I think, to answer
Absolutely.
your question, truthfully, I think I'd rather it be a series because
Yeah.
there's so many different time traveling factions in it that are like, there's people that want to murder baby Hitler. There's people that want to save baby Hitler because they're bad. There's like good people that want to save baby Hitler. There's good people that want to murder. There's all these different factions.
Y
So like I would rather play with that. And then like you can also play with, I don't know, there's so many different authoritarian babies we can murder. We get like, hey, okay, this is baby Hitler episode. Let's go get baby Mussolini. Let's go get baby Pol Pot. Let's go get, you know, baby Wolf Nader or whoever. Like we could go get all the baby. Uh,
But we can't really show the murder of a ba that's the thing, it's not in this book, by the way, I hate that I'm spoiling it here, but there's no, like, gruesome
no,
baby murdering scene
no.
in here, so really,
Yeah, there's no maybe and actually, I didn't wanna do I
bear
thought about they just get back there and just hammer, but I did try to treat the question with the gravity that it deserves, and so it's mostly a discussion of what should we do with it? Is it okay to do that with the baby? And
Yeah.
I don't wanna spoil it either, so I'll let people see, and maybe they agree, maybe they don't agree.
Right, there could be a psychopath element to the audience of thinking that I don't really wanna admit to, that is thinking, "Ooh, a book that has" not that I condone that in any way, but the title is "Let's Murder the Fuck Out of Baby Hitler," so that could it could attract a weird audience of, like, w right-wing white national it could be an interesting audience here, Eric.
It could be, yeah. Yeah, so I think a series would be I think there's enough of a rich tapestry. It could be a series, right? A couple season long series or whatever, but it also could be a feature. It'll be whatever. If anybody wants to pay me to make it, I will do whatever makes sense.
Yeah. So what are you working on now other than getting this hopefully made, and what's the best way for people to contact you if they're interested in finding more about the story?
They can contact me. They can email me at lejk and co the number 4 at gmail.com. That's
Okay,
my email. If anybody's watching this and want to hire me for anything, you could reach out to Brant Rose Agency as my reps for
okay,
screenwriting. And they can find the book on Amazon, Google, Let's Murder the Fuck Out of Baby Hitler, or put that in the search bar. That's the only thing that's titled that. I checked before I titled it that. And then what I'm working on now is trying to get this out there. Skippy's List, that project I mentioned, we're still trying to push that out there. I try to use the juice of the fellowship that ended last year to try to and existing IP, try to get that. That's challenging because there's 3 of us involved in that. And in today's climate, people are trying not to take risks. But Hacks has 3 showrunners and it's doing gangbusters.
okay,
And then besides that, I'm just always writing and trying to get staffed on stuff. My latest pilot, besides this one, is an MMA. It's a comedy about an MMA fighter's fall from grace. It's like Eastbound and Down esque, where he's trying to get back in the ring. And his fall from grace came. He was a very popular, very wealthy MMA fighter, but he let the lifestyle of just constantly hawking products and stuff get to him, and he was just taking all these supplements without vetting them and drinking all night. So he ends up like shitting his pants in the ring, and so he loses everything. He wants to buy the Rolex from the guy that shit his pants on national TV,
no.
and so he's trying to rebuild his life, and it's called Shit Happens. So I'm trying to. I guess I have a lot of curse words in my titles now that I say that out loud. But
You're a Marine, so it really is it comes with the territory,
yeah,
right?
so I guess so.
So when you say 3 showrunners, 3 people working on a project, and that's difficult, are you finding that people are looking for that one person and be like, "Okay, at least I have one person." There's not like a council of people deciding things. Is that in some ways easier now in
Uh, I
some
I to be honest, I think it's just that right now with the mediascape what it is, and these companies are buying each other constantly, and like people are trying to figure out like where are we going? Are we sticking with streaming? Is like advertisement based content the way we're paying for stuff now? I think it's a fluxy thing that anything that's just even slightly different, people are like, I don't know that shit. I don't want to be like
Right.
nobody at like Warner wants to be the guy holding the TV show with 3 showrunners that is like having the struggling to get off the ground when Paramount buys them because then the new
Yeah.
regime fire everybody that's not just wheelbarrowing money in. So anything that's even
Interesting.
slightly different, they're like, no, I'm not touching that, but not till the dust settles, and then maybe they'll try. They're
Yeah.
just oh, what do we have? We have this animated feature film did gangbusters 20 years ago. Let's make a live action version. That's gonna be fine. That's safe. You know what I mean? And
Right.
meanwhile, a pile of scripts on their desk that's brilliant, but it's new shit, and they're too afraid to touch it. So I think that's more about what it is. It's more about the unique stuff is so much harder to do these days. So I don't know. Sometimes you gotta turn it into a novella and put it on the internet and see who the fuck buys it.
Eric, have you had meetings with production studios? Like, I know that there are a lot more production studios now than there were, say, 10 years ago. Like, a lot of people are just thinking they can find a way through the bottleneck of theaters and independent film, and it seems like there would be a path for somebody to be brave. I get the studios not wanting to mess with shareholders and all that, but if you're self-funded type guy, this could be a path forward. Have you had any of those conversations with people? They're too timid as well to just buck the system?
No, I think that there is like a theory that like we're gonna see a resurgence of indie stuff because of all
Right.
this. Because all like the
Exactly.
corporate people are stuck and scared.
Yeah.
I think you're
Right.
gonna see a bunch of indie stuff taken off. And I have had like more of that. Like more I actually did have a meeting recently with a guy who's trying to like start his own basically like his own version of A24, like a studio that's
Exactly.
like that like artistic vibe, but for like sports content. I just had a meeting
Okay.
that guy. So there are people that are
Nice.
doing yeah, there's people that are doing indie stuff. The thing that sucks about that is that there used to be that there was like that giant like indie, I guess you call like an indie golden era. It was like the early 2000s, and you'd see
Right.
there'd be like major theaters that would be like showing like indie flicks and stuff. That kind of went away, and then it became more like easier, especially with like shortly after that when like Netflix was like hot and throwing money at everything. It became easier to go the corporate route, and like it's much easier to get some bean counter to be excited about your idea than to get 17 different dentists to fund it and then shoot it yourself. But I think now we're back to that. Oh, the bean counters are too scared. Now we're gonna have to go hit the streets again and be like fucking get a bunch of different like 17 different investors and then do your thing. But I don't know. Maybe that'll be more freeing. Maybe someone will. Maybe if I could do that, go that route, maybe I could make this thing with the bad word in the title that talks shit about right wingers. I don't know. We'll see.
I've had people on the podcast who talked up dentists about how dentists are like your way in, and I it's funny that you said that. Think about it, they're doctors, they need to spend money to get they're not a lot of their work isn't covered by insurance, so they have a lot of, like, money coming in, like, they dentists are where it's at.
It is. I don't know what it is. It's been a stereotype for a long time. Is like the dentist wants because I think it's because it's like nobody like your doctor saves your life and stuff. Like everyone hates it. Dentists are important. I love you, dentist. If you're watching, you could give me some
Right,
money for my movie. But like nobody likes it because it's like it's painful, it sucks. Like dentists are so thankless, but they're so important. But I think that they're
right.
just itching to take all these boxes of money they have, and they just want to be creative with it. So that's like the stereotype now is the dentists.
That's so funny, Eric. So, I'm hopeful those 17 dentists will call you, we'll get the feature of "Let's Murder the Fuck Out of Baby Hitler." So, Eric, one of the things I love the most about you is that you just are promoting other people's work. It's really cool that you're supportive of other filmmakers. Last time you were on, you selected Love Ganza. Is there a film or filmmaker out there that you've seen since then that you really are on board with and you wish more people knew about them?
Yes, I was actually thinking about this, and I was trying to figure out because I was thinking because there's a bunch of like really good filmmakers. I've seen you talk to a bunch or listened to you talk a bunch on the show, and I was trying to figure out. I was like, but wait, I know a bunch of filmmakers, and there's one
Yeah.
guy, very good friend of mine. His name is Craig Sherwood. He came up with me in the trenches doing production stuff. Like he and I have definitely hauled sandbags and driven production trucks and stuff. He was a unit production manager for commercials for a while. He was producing commercials for a while, and all the while, he and I were exchanging scripts and notes and trying to make our own movies and our own little videos that would be put out there trying to like promote stuff. And then he came into a wonderful opportunity and he is producing an indie horror film called Godmother. It's
Okay.
gonna be incredible. And you can check out their Instagram. It's what is their Instagram? It's at Watch Godmother is the Instagram handle.
Nice.
They've already got like 25,000 followers. They're doing it big.
Wow.
Yeah, and Dee Wallace is in it. She's the scream queen, Dee Wallace. Paige Evans plays
Wow.
the lead in it. Like it's gonna be great. They're crushing it. They're in post production right now for it. He's been working on it for a while. I'm super excited for him because we were working on other people's garbage for so long. Now he's making his own thing. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, Greg Sherwood is producing it. Godmother is the title. I read an early version of it. It was brilliant. So I'm sure it's gonna be great. Stuff like that.
Love that, Eric. So the novella and future film slash series, let's murder the fuck out of baby Hitler. More people need to say that. It's fun to say.
It's
I can't wait to see if anything censors the podcast when I put out "Let's Murder the Fuck Out of Baby Hitler" as the novella. But I think it's really cool. I think we need to allow all voices, like whether you're on a political right or left, like just be able to write satire. That's the whole point of free speech. And if people are saying like, "Oh, we shouldn't do it," say about it. That's a clear sign that we should be talking about it
100%. Yeah,
because
100%.
that's like why we have free speech and the idea of sharing different ideas. And the other thing, like this is light satire. Like this is not like heavy. If I know the title sounds "Let's Murder the Fuck Out of Baby Hitler," but Eric, you're not going like deep into whining or complaining. This is a satirical, funny novella, and it deserves to be have a series or film made out of it. It's available on Amazon. Give Eric his quarter. It's definitely worth it. And I'm so thrilled that you're able to join me today for the podcast.
Dude, thank you. Thank you so much. Like, I love being here. Still a big fan. Oh, yeah, I still have my hat.
Yeah, awesome.
Love this thing. Great. Twinsies. Uh, yeah. Yeah, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.